I'm your huckleberry.
Hey, what's up? It's DeHuff. It's another episode of DeHuff Uncensored. I am broadcasting from the Wigwam, which is just outside of Phoenix, Arizona in Litchfield. Very cool. They set me up in the courtyard. I feel very important. I assume this comes with drinks. I don't know. Wishful thinking, I guess. I'll take old fashioned. Just keep them coming. Keep them coming. It's going to be a fun show. Hope you guys are having a great day. A lot to get into. It's been busy. Before we jump in officially into this show, I just got to give you an update. Like I said, I'm out here in the Phoenix area on vacation with the kids, but there's no vacation from the #1 comedy podcast in the state of Colorado. No. I got to keep it coming, baby. And what's funny is, so I'm out and about with the family today. And I'm just like taking notes because just weird stuff is happening nonstop. You know, when you actually just start documenting weird interactions that you have on a regular basis, you're probably going to be surprised. And me doing this show, really, it does open that up. So we're at this mall near Phoenix. This was actually yesterday. And I'm walking and my wife and family are a little bit separated from me. And this guy runs up to me and he's just like, "Hi, hey, sir, can I give you a massage?" He basically offered to jack me off in front of everybody. I'm just saying, throwing that out there. I thought about it. Thought about it long and hard. I tell you what, I did. But I ended up telling him, no, thanks. And then, called security, as I should.
Maybe he did jerk off.
Today, we went to this illusion museum in the Scottsdale area, which was pretty cool. Basically, forced perspective type of stuff. And you go into a room with a sloped floor and all this stuff. It was interesting. It's probably overpriced. It's probably overpriced, but it's neat. It's different, something different. And then we're like, let's go to this thing that in this little outdoor mall that they have. It's the Arizona Boardwalk where the illusion thing was. And also this other place, the UFO experience. And we're like, oh, let's go to that. It'll be fun. I swear to God, guys, going into it, I'm thinking, you know what? Aliens might be real. After going through the whole thing, at this UFO experience on the boardwalk in Arizona, I have come to the conclusion that aliens are not real. That's how bad of a job they did at the UFO experience. Like, this is not convincing me. Half the shit that they're posting and, making displays about are just like, no, that's fake. It's fake. And then you really don't help when you put in a Terminator thing and then, aliens and whatnot, from the movie Aliens and stuff like that. It just didn't really help the cause. I'm just sitting there at the end. You can say, hey, did you change your mind? Do you believe in aliens more now? Or I'm like, nope, don't believe in them now. You guys ruined it. You ruined my childhood, you dicks. So anyway, if you're out in Scottsdale, go check it out. Maybe I'm just being a curmudgeon, but whatever. It's just like, come on, guys. Like half the stories they put up there are just like, come on. They're very fantastic, and there's just like no evidence. There's zero, whatever. I don't need to go down that path. I don't. What I need to do is find somebody that will allow me to stay at Skinwalker Ranch, and then that's supposed to be like this hot spot. Then I might be able to have an actual conclusion, whether I fully believe or not. But going to a UFO experience, like hole in the wall, shitty museum, just makes me lean the other way. I want to believe, but you guys are fucking it up for me, basically is what I'm saying. Hey, we got a lot to get into, a lot of headlines to jump into. But real quick, hit that like button. Also hit the subscribe button wherever you're consuming this, whether you're watching or listening. And don't forget, today's show is presented to you by Roof Goat USA. If you're having roof issues or maybe even fence issues, you got to go with the GOAT, Roof Goat USA, roofgoatusa.com. Also presented to you by the folks over at Bet Online. Bet Online is the world's most trusted betting platform and your #1 source for all your sports betting action. The Final Four is upon us, and Bet Online has more ways to stay in the action with the latest odds, news, and scores, even live in-game betting while the games are being played. They got the largest selection of odds on everything from college basketball to MLB, NHL, and UFC. And they even got the Kentucky Derby to bet on. Oh, my goodness. The Kentucky Derby is just a bunch of horses running around. How easy is that? I wouldn't bet on horses, but that's just me. I'm the worst. Be like, I don't know, it's got a funny name. Bet on that one. That should win. It should win for comedy value only. Anyway, also, from every college basketball game to MLB, NHL, UFC, all that stuff, NFL season futures are ready for you to bet on as well. Dude, the draft is right around the corner. Holy crap. You got to jump into betonline.ag right now. In between games, head on over to BetOnline Casino with all the top Vegas-style games, including poker and live casino. You got to check it out. It's BetOnline. The game starts here. Speaking of starting, let's go ahead and do it. Let's jump into those headlines.
Let's go! And now, here are the headlines.
I got to be honest, guys, real quick before we jump into the headlines. This is really weird. Nobody knows who I am out here. I mean, if I was doing this in Denver, nobody'd know either. So I guess really, is it anything different? I don't know. I don't know. Oh, my God. Oh, there we go. This is the headline that I found this morning. And I'm like, dude, we got to talk about this. This is so ridiculous. It's this guy. He's a former model. Which, I've seen Zoolander plenty of times. You can't trust anything that pops out of a male model's mouth. Ladies, yes. Guys, no. Sorry. He says, I drink my own pee for health benefits. I also do urine enemas and splash it on my skin to sunbathe.
Is it necessary for me to drink my own urine? Probably not.
Yeah, you know what? I don't care how attractive that makes me look. If I have to splash urine on my face or drink it, sorry, not my thing. I'll pass. You do you. You do you. Me, not going to do it. It's disgusting, dude. Come on. What's the dude's name here? I'm trying to make sure my stuff doesn't blow away. His name's Troy Casey. I guess he's like some big fitness influencer. He looks great. Listen, yeah, he's got a six-pack and stuff. Probably because he's puking his guts out from drinking all the freaking piss. That can't be... Guys, I'm not a doctor. But let me just go out on a limb and say, drinking piss just ain't for everybody, okay? And in fact, I'll tell you, maybe don't do it, okay? Lean on the side of caution and just don't drink your own pee. And who wants to be around a dude or a lady that is just splashing that on their skin? Oh, it's good for sunbathing. Well, you smell like piss, okay? We were at the Phoenix Zoo the other day, which, by the way, really cool. If you're in the Phoenix area, you got to check out the Phoenix Zoo. Really cool zoo. Very big enclosures. But anyway, you go by, I think it was like the Bobcat exhibit, and you're like, oh my God, you're just getting hit with this wall of stank. What's the stank? It's the piss. It's it marking its territory. That's that guy. He's marking his territory that nobody gives a shit about. Like, dude, Troy, come on, I get it. You look great. Good for you. But just not worth it. Just not worth it. There was that baseball player. What was his name? I can't remember his name. He used to pee on his hands, and he would say it would callus up his hands and make them a little rougher, so he got a better grip, is what he thought, on the bat. Hey, if it works for you, it works for you. Just something I'm not going to go and do. I'm not going down that path. Don't care. Would you drink your own pee, rub it all over your body if it meant superior looking body and people wanted to bang you? I'm just going to say no, because they might want to bang you. Then they get within smelling distance, and then it's just all that shit's out the window. It's all out the window. Sorry. If any of the people come out here, I should ask them, be like, real quick side note. Hi, would you date somebody that urinated on themselves or consumed their own urine? I'm guessing they're going to say no. Spirit airline passenger stripped down and flashed her breasts in front of fellow flyers the other day during a meltdown. Not sure what the meltdown was because I didn't bother to click on the article. I just started, going down this random train of thought of like, if I did that, if it was reversed and the headline read, Spirit passenger strips down, flashes his sad penis in front of fellow flyers during airport meltdown, laughter erupts. That's what the headline would be, guys, if it was me. If it was me, that's what it would be. It's a lady showing off her boobs. Everybody's like, oh, okay, let's hear her out. Let's hear her out. Let's see what happens. That stuff, none of the good stuff happens to me when I'm at the airport. Nobody's like, flashing their boobs at anybody. Nobody's in the corner diddling themselves at the, KFC when I go in there. Nothing good ever happens to me. Not like that. It's always just weird shit. Like that guy offering to jerk me off at the mall. Oh, he says massage, but we know what he meant. Goodness. I'm just waiting for somebody to come up on me. Because at first the ladies are, real quick, side note again. I was asking the front desk, I was like, do you have a place where I can record? And they're like, well, maybe the library over here. And you could do it. It's kind of pushed back. I said, you know what? My show is uncensored. I don't think that would be good. And as you listen to me talking about some guy offering to jack me off at the mall, you can see why I chose to do this outside in the courtyard. One of the many beautiful courtyards here at the Wigwam Resort. You're welcome. Thank you guys for allowing me to do this show. California woman uses world's longest tongue to play Jenga. I brought this up as a courtesy to my lesbian listeners. I know there's a lot of them out there. I'm just saying, think of the possibilities, okay? Hey, look at her play Jenga. I like it, Daddy like, or Mama likes it. Now I got a group of people staring at me. They think it's somebody that it's acceptable for their children to listen to, but no. Yeah, walk away. It's the best choice for your children's future. So anyway, I just wanted to bring that up because I thought that was hilarious. She's like, her tongue is fucking long. Like it could kill somebody. Like if, let's be inappropriate for a second. She's down there doing some business on a fella. She could wrap that thing around and her nickname will be the Shocker. Because you'd just be like, this is fantastic. Wait, the fuck? Both hands are up here. That's not normal. That ain't normal. But oddly weird and satisfying. I'm so confused. Companies are offering a recharge day. Because you have PTO, paid time off, whether it's vacation or sick leave. Now they're doing a recharge day. What's a recharge day? It's workers are enraged about going to the office again after working from home. They're like, well, let's just give them another excuse to stay home and be a bitch. They're like, let's do that. Just stay home. Come on. It's rough. I get it. It's annoying if you have an office job. You've been doing the office job since the pandemic began back in that, whatever the fuck time that was. I can't even remember. But if you've been home working, and then all of a sudden your company's like, well, you got to go back to the office. That's going to be a huge culture change. I get it. But to give an extra day off because you're upset and you're pulling a tantrum about it, no, come on. No. Put your big boy pants on, big girl pants on, and deal with it like everybody else. There's a lot of people that never got the luxury of working from home. They were essential, or they're small business owners and they had to stay working on location. So quit being a bit, we could just call these bitch days. How about that? Could you imagine if a company did that? All right, we got, you get 7 sick days, all right, and you get automatically 2 weeks vacation. Oh, that's fantastic. And you get 3 bitch days. What are bitch days? When you start being a bitch and complain about working at the office instead of being from home. So there you go. All right, we got more coming your way, and some kind of sad. Well, it is sad news. An iconic actor passed away, but let's remember some good things about him. Before we get into that, by the way, when it comes to roof repairs, you want the best. Same goes for your fence. Okay, whether it's a roof issue or a fence issue, you need the GOAT. Who's the GOAT? It's Roof Goat USA. You got to contact them for all your fencing and roofing needs. They're teamed up with FenceGo LLC, and they're here to dominate and here to make sure your life is nice and easy. They've been in business for 23 years. They understand the headache that comes with fixing a roof as well as fences, and they're all about putting a smile on your face. I know that sounds silly and cliche, but let's be honest. When you're dealing with something like this, you're stressed to the max. You're dealing with insurance, and insurance is being a you-know-what. They're not very nice. They're not at times. FenceGoat's there to ease the pain, and you know what? Stand beside you and say, hey, we got you. We got you. We'll take care of you. So whether it's a repair, a replacement, insurance claims, Roof Goat USA's experienced professionals are committed to delivering a reliable and durable solution, and they prioritize the safety and comfort of your family, ensuring that your home is well protected against all the elements as they're doing the repairs and, thereafter. And you know what? They prioritize the safety and comfort of your family, which I already said, and I'm sorry. Sorry. For all your roofing and fencing needs, contact the GOAT. Go ahead and text Eric 303-495-4630. Again, 303-495-4630. He's insanely fast at responding to your calls. I always joke about it, but I'm confident. When you see Eric, he probably has a holster for his cell phone, and that's okay. That's how serious he is about doing the job and making sure that your mind is put at ease. You can also check out roofgoatusa.com, roofgoatusa.com, and there's an easy way for you to contact everybody at Roof Goat USA and set up an appointment for them to come out, which is free, for them to look at your roof and see what needs to be done and figure out what the next steps are. It's really easy. They make it very convenient for you. But here's what's cool. Roof Goat USA, the leader in residential roofing applications, their commitment to quality and excellence ensures that your home is protected with the best roofing solutions available. You can trust them to deliver unmatched service and superior craftsmanship that stands the test of time. In fact, again, this is what I think is super neat. They guarantee their work 30-year coverage from date of install. That's all materials and labor for 30 years from date of install. Really cool. That's how committed they are to making sure that you get the best product available and that you get the best experience possible. Again, text Eric with Roof Goat USA 303-495-4630. Again, 303-495-4630, or check out their website, roofgoatusa.com. Again, roofgoatusa.com. Experience the Roof Goat USA difference today. Before we get into some sports, you guys got it's really sad. We've talked about him before on this show. One of my favorite actors, Val Kilmer, passed away, and I mean, I don't want to get too sad, too down, but it's just when you have an actor that was just so freaking good in everything he did and had like such a wide range, it's just jaw dropping. There's a lot of people that are in movies, but they don't just like get you. I mean, the very first movie that I really kind of fell in love with was Tombstone. And of course, he played Doc Holliday in that, and he just dominated. I don't think he even got nominated for that as best supporting actor. He should have won, and he didn't. But that's, in a sense, that's okay, because it just adds to this sense about him, this aura around him. Like, it didn't matter. He still continued to make greatness. And I going back to Tombstone, that was the first movie I watched with my brother where like he showed me all about Tombstone. He's like, you got to watch this. And it was the first time I got drunk and we were drinking Milwaukee Best as a chaser, and we were taking shots at Jägermeister. Let's just say I puked everywhere, but it's a fun memory because I remember watching that movie, which is a great movie. And every time I watch it, I have that memory of my brother and I. So that was cool. Also, when I started dating my wife, we, kind of bonded over watching that movie. She had never seen it, and I introduced it to her, and she's like, I don't like Westerns, but this is so good, because it's just, even though it's a Western, it's just something different, something more special. And the character, obviously, that stands out in that movie, Val Kilmer as Doc Holliday. And then I introduced that movie to my son, Jackson, and he fell in love with that movie and that character. And even he, when I told him, hey, the news came out that Val Kilmer passed away, he's just like, oh, well, that's sad. My son's kind of a jerk, let's be honest. And for him to say that, I was just like, wow, that's really telling you something. But anyway, just a good guy. Everything I've ever heard is Val Kilmer was an amazing human being. The guy that played Johnny Ringo, and I forget his name, and I apologize, he actually reached out to me at one point on Facebook, on my DeHuff Uncensored Facebook page, at DeHuff Podcast on Facebook. I had posted that scene, that iconic scene from Tombstone, where it's the final fight between Johnny Ringo and Doc Holliday. He responded and he said, thank you for posting this. That was such a special moment in my life. And working with guys like Val, it was just really it meant a lot. And it was just really neat. And then I responded back and he responded back. I was just like, wow, that's really cool. And obviously this was like 2 years ago or a year ago that his, like, Michael Behan, I can't remember how to say his last name, but really cool experience. But the fact that he reached out and he even in that innocent moment starts talking about how he had a great experience with one and only Val Kilmer. And it just meant a lot then. And it means even more to me now that he took the time to, one, talk to me, and then two, to put a spotlight on someone else. And that someone else is the one and only Val Kilmer. So anyway, obviously some of his better films, Val Kilmer's Heat, Tombstone, Top Gun. Dude, he played a jerk in that movie and people still loved him. Iceman. He played Iceman. He was a dick in the movie, but he still kind of liked him at the end. Cause at the end, he's just like, oh, Tom Cruise, what's up? Yeah. And you're like, fuck, he's got me. Yeah. Real Genius, Top Secret. Come on, man. Such a classic, stupid, silly movie. He did it. The Saint was really good. MacGruber's one of my all-time favorite funny movies. And the fact that Val Kilmer's the bad guy in it, and his name's like Victor von Kunth, like cunt, only with an H at the end. Oh, it's hilarious. He had such a wide range, and sadly, just like so many people out there, you don't get full recognition until you pass. And of course, you're going to get it. You're getting individuals like me talking about it. You're going to get people talking about it on TV. There's going to be next Oscars and stuff. It's going to be a big praise to him. He'll end up winning something, as he should have a long time ago. But it's just we're notorious as a society of waiting till somebody departs before you give them full credit. It's really sad. It's really annoying that we do that. So-and-so died. Well, then they end up winning Artist of the Year or some shit like that. Come on. Give them awards when they're alive. It means more. It's just kind of one of those, oh shit, they're dead, we got to give them an award. I'm mixed on that. Yes, give them praise, for the life they had, but it's just like, come on, give some love while they're here. Anyway, what we need to do right now? By the way, rest in peace, Val Kilmer. You were an impact on my life growing up, and I followed him on Instagram and Facebook when he was going through his throat cancer battles. And he was an artist. He painted a lot, and it was really neat to see. Even though he struggled with speaking, like he would still, be present there, write poetry and stuff like that. It was just a special dude. So a big loss for this world. But anyway, you know what we need to do right now? Let's jump into some sports. Well, under a new NFL policy, teams are going to be able to wear their alternate or throwback uniforms 4 times across the 17 games in a season. It was last year, it was 3. Now they're bumping up to 4. I think that's cool. Obviously, the uniforms that most people fall in love with here in Broncos country, as I'm saying that, I'm out here in Phoenix, but in Broncos country, it's the old school D, right? It's the, iconic uniform that John Elway wore for the majority of his career. Those are the uniforms that we all love. Do we start a petition, guys? Because I feel like that's what they should go back to, and make the uniforms, the new horse and all that stuff, make that an alternate uniform. Because I think we could all agree we'd rather go back to the old school D. It just looks cool. Maybe tweak it a little bit here and there. Okay, make it an old but a new. Okay, can we do that? Can somebody do that? You do that. You're good at that stuff, right? I'm not. I'll say it here, but then I'm just gonna forget about it, or I just will be like, I don't know. It seems like a lot of work. I don't want to do that. But I think it's cool that the NFL's doing that because they understand that the money that's involved with it, and it also is one of those weird things that it makes you tune in a little bit more when you see the alternate jerseys, because it's just more of a trick on the eyes. It's twisting around your vision. So it makes sense why they do it. I would just like it as a Bronco fan for them to just make the old school D the permanent uniform. I'd be happy with that. Speaking of the Broncos, co-owner and CEO Greg Penner was talking the other day about the new stadium, because they're going to do it. They don't want to build a new stadium that's only going to last like a couple years or so, right? They want something that's going to last 40, 50 years. And that makes sense. Yeah, because he said we want to create what's the best option for the next 40 or 50 years, not 10 or 20 years. I'm fine with that. But the problem is, where are you going to put that? And he said, we're still looking at the current site, other sites around Denver, Lone Tree, Aurora. That's what he said. I did a Twitter poll, X poll, whatever. I said, what city should the Broncos' new stadium be in? Aurora, Lone Tree, Commerce City, stay in Denver. Okay, you can guess what's leading the pack. It's stay in Denver at 66%. Lone Tree's at 20%. Aurora and Commerce City tied at 7%. I'll give you my thoughts in a second. B. Fish wrote, out by DIA, so much space to basically anything structure-wise. Yeah, I get that. There is a lot of space out there. Camacho 2028, Lone Tree makes the most sense. Douglas County is where the money's at. Yeah. But DIA makes a lot of sense too. Easy access to trains and other transit alternatives, plus hotels. Yeah. Here's the thing. I know we want it to stay in Denver. We're one of the few cities that actually, the city that the team's named after, we're actually playing in that city. Here in Phoenix, they play actually in, well, I guess they're not the Phoenix Cardinals anymore. They're Arizona Cardinals, but they're out of Glendale. If you really broke it down, does it really fucking matter? I know it would be cool if the Broncos could stay in Denver. But when you start thinking about what the experience is going to be. You talk about these guys, B Fish and Camacho 2028. They're talking about you're building something grand out there. And that's what Penner wants to do and everybody wants to do. You want to build a grand experience, not just the stadium. Think about it. You can have a plaza. You can make it like a real big experience. More restaurants out there, more things for the experience. You go out there, you're welcome to, it's literally Bronco country. It's restaurants based around the team, etc. And it's more of an experience. I think that would be cool. If you've ever had the opportunity, I thankfully have been able to cover, I don't know how many Super Bowls, but when you go out there and you have the whole experience, they turn a area into, you got places for the kids to interact, pretend they're a football player, kicking the ball, catching and stuff like that. And you get to do those type of things. Just, big helmets everywhere, just making it more of an event. And I think that's kind of what they're starting to look at. It's not just going to the game and watching the game. It's the Bronco experience. And I think that's ultimately what they're aiming for, is you're going to the game, but you're experiencing so much around it. Hell, you could go out there and have the Bronco experience and not actually go to the game. I think that would be great. But the thing is, when you circling back to what we were originally talking about, where do you have space to do that? You got space in Lone Tree. You got parts of Aurora. I know the outskirts of Denver, Aurora by DIA. I mean, there's a lot of places out there. I know you guys want you want it to stay put. But if you want them to keep up and get better as far as what the experience is, it's not going to be where it's at now. Put them out towards DIA. I put Commerce City on there because there's a lot. Look at Dick's Sporting Goods Park. There's so much land out there. Now, some of that is the wildlife reserve, so don't fuck with that. But you could have a whole community, a whole area out there, or wherever. The point is, nostalgia is great, but eventually you might have to move on. And a way to move on is by going somewhere else. You're still the Denver Broncos. But one thing that Penner did say is the infrastructure is going to have to change. They're going to have to figure out something with the roadways. I'm out here in Phoenix. The roadways are smooth for the most part out here. In comparison to Denver, it's like butter out here. They got their shit planned out and mapped out. So is that something that could potentially happen? Could they change the roadways and add more roadways, or at least expand the roadways to make it more of a smooth commute if you're wanting to go out there and watch the game, or if you're just working around there in general, wherever it may end up? Me personally, if I'm having to put my 2 cents in this, I would rather it be out towards DIA. I think there's a lot of potential out there. I know people want it to stay in Denver. It doesn't make sense to me. You got to get bigger and grander. And thinking, like Penner says, 40 to 50 years from now, you have more opportunity to build something that's going to last way out there. Okay. Now, that being said, who knows? Who knows? They might figure something out in Denver, but that means they're just going to have to scrap just about everything around it. We'll see. But I like the idea of having some sort of Broncos country experience like the NFL experience has when you go to a Super Bowl. So there you go. Thank you guys so much for tuning into the show. Next week, I'll be back in the home studio. Also, I got to tell you, if you follow Mile High Sports on social media, check them out. We got a new studio that is ready to go at number 38. It's really cool how they have it set up. Nate Lundy did an amazing job planning this thing out and building it. I'm going to start doing shows at least a couple times a month out there. I got to figure out the schedule, figure out what works best for me to insert myself. You guys know me. I like to insert myself wherever possible. Anyway, that's a penis joke. You're welcome. But I got to figure out where I can go, and I'll let you guys know on social media as well as here. And I'll be doing the shows down there so you guys can interact with me and hang out, grab a beer, watch a game or whatever. And I'll be down there doing the show, and you can stop by, say hi. But it's really cool. It's a very listener interactive experience. Talking about the experience, it's the Mile High Sports experience down at number 38. It's really cool how they got it set up, and it'll be neat for you guys to hang out with me as well as all the fans of the other shows down there. And that's what's cool, and that's what Nate was really going for, is just open the arms to the community and say, hey, let's hang out, let's talk some sports and have some fun. I'm the fun part. I'm the fun part. That's the thing that I was doing that video shoot for the other day, when they're like, just shoot from the hip, talk 4 to 5 minutes. And then I start talking about detachable, vaginas or whatever for robots. It's what I do. But I also throw in sports, and that's the way I like to do sports in every single show. Obviously, that's where my bread and butter is, of me having, 18 years at 104.3 The Fan, being on the number 1 rated show at the time for so many years, in working with so many great former athletes and obtaining a lot of their knowledge and pretending it's mine. So it's really cool what's going on with Mile High Sports. And again, I'll keep you updated on what that means for me and you. And if I'm going to be out and about, that means I'm going to be, scraping up some prizes for you guys to interact. So when I say I'm going to be out on location, I'm going to have prizes. I have prizes in my backpack right now. I just need to run into you guys. So that's going to be a great time, because that's going to allow me to have some interaction with you guys, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Can't wait. Again, number 38. It's what I like about it too, is it's not too deep into downtown where it gets crazy for parking. There's parking everywhere, and it's really nice, and I like that. So I'll keep you updated. Also, stay updated with Mile High Sports. Go like their Facebook page, follow them on Twitter and all that stuff, and you'll see what I'm talking about. They have just a lot of great content that you need to follow them along, especially if you're a Denver sports fan. Rocky, sorry, man. Sorry, bro. Although the Mile High Sports is going to be out there broadcasting for the home opener, so that's pretty cool. My son's ready, ready to go. I threw him in anotha room, so he's telling me I need to wrap it up.
You can.
I need to wrap it up. No, I'm wrapping it up. God, he is a real ball buster. I'll tell you that. real piece of work. I'll explain what that means later. Anyway, you guys are amazing. Have a wonderful day. Big thanks to Roof Goat USA. Go check them out at roofgoatusa.com. Also, thanks to Bet Online. Go check them out at betonline.ag with the draft. You got, the Final Four, all that stuff. I mean, so much going on in sports right now. You got to check out betonline.ag. You guys are amazing. Let me know your thoughts on where the Broncos Stadium should be. thehuffpodcast@gmail.com, or hit me up on my socials at the Huff Podcast. The wind's picking up. Guess that's time for me to go. You guys are amazing. Have a wonderful day. Hopefully you laughed a little bit in this episode. It's the Huff Uncensored. Let's continue to move forward.